Good morning. I'm here to make our annual Christmas video. I've got my props here, a Christmas cactus, and here is a Christmas cactus that isn't in bloom and is probably never going to bloom. This cactus here, I nursed it for 3 Christmases. And it didn't bloom the first Christmas, then I thought, well, somehow or another it was sick, it didn't really, something happened. So next Christmas, I'm going to take very good care of it and it will surely bloom. Well, that Christmas came and went and there was not one single bloom, not one single bud, not anything. In fact, the leaves at the end started looking a little sick. That was last Christmas. Now this Christmas, I knew it in my heart that this cactus was not ever going to bloom. Why? I don't know. I asked the guy who sold it to me, and he said in all sincerity, missed it, your apartment then is too hot for it. I told him it was facing the Phoenix sun. Take it into a shaded place. So I brought it down to his apartment. I got it all ready, primed to bloom this Christmas. It did not bloom. Now you might ask why I'm so intent on getting a Christmas cactus to bloom. It's because naturally my mother had a huge Christmas cactus that every single year without fail ever it bloomed, and it was glorious. All the rest of the year it didn't do a thing, but at Christmas cascades of blooms went down the side of the pot. Every one of these bloomed. Oh, it was wonderful, and it just really felt like Christmas when that plant was blooming. Well, I already went out, got the usual poinsettia, which, as far as I don't even get poinsettias in my apartment because the leaves fall off before Christmas. We can't have that, and he's the only one that can keep a poinsettia alive till Christmas at least, before it starts to, flutter off into the. And then we, 3 years, or I don't know how many, we got an anthurium, which my mother, when she moved to Hawaii, she switched from Christmas cactus to anthuriums every single Christmas without fail. Everyone, whether we wanted it or not, we got an expensive bouquet of anthuriums. And we don't have any. Doc has been, it's been in his apartment. I don't know what he did. He burned the leaves. They all had to be cut off. It wasn't his fault, it just happened. But that's why he's not sitting on camera, because he has been so, devil may carry, you might say, with these Christmas plants that I cherish and love, that mean a lot to me, whether they mean anything to you or not. So he doesn't understand my frenzy about Christmas cactus. Well, finally, people, I found a Christmas cactus that bloomed. And I brought it home. I said, Doc, and he couldn't understand, he's Christmas cactus that bloomed. What, he just doesn't understand. He doesn't understand Christmas. I mean, like I am, like I think of Christmas. And another reason why I'm not showing him on cameras, he's dressed terribly. And you can see that I have thought of my costume and dressed in advance, but he knew we were going to make a video and he did not dress up. So when he finally said, I didn't insist.
I dressed up.
No, he dressed. You can say he dressed. And you know, I'm just, since I got a sugar low this morning. Now this is, a sugar low is something that you get when you're addicted to sugar, as I was. Many years ago, I started on my sugar full diet with my mother. Now my father was an alcoholic, and I had good sense not to, oh yeah, he's tired of not being seen, so he's going to, and you'll see how terrible he looks when he gets here. I doubt if he has time to go in and change his clothes before he appears, but you can see what a time I have to get him dressed for these videos and matching and all that sort of thing, which for some reason I have to have. But anyway, my dad was an alcoholic, and my mother, unbeknownst to her or any of her family, were raging sugarholics. My grandfather, her dad, was the fattest man in town. And I knew there was something about this that wasn't right.
Zerk running down the street.
He was supposed to be a perfect dad because he didn't drink. As my mother came from a family, they did not drink. They could have a huge celebration with all kinds of relatives, and nobody'd even be drinking. And most people in this world do not feel you can have a big celebration and reunion without somebody, you know, a number of people getting, you know, pretty loaded. I mean, you've got to have. But my mother's side of the family, they were Mormon. They did not believe, you know, that you had to have alcohol to have fun, and they proved it. And so I, you know, coming from her side of the family, I didn't think that if I just refrained from drinking, I could not get into any serious substance abuse. So when I was a child, like at Christmas, oh, this was a wonderful time because you could just eat sugar from all through December. And you had the license. I mean, I remember very well my mother used to get a mix, chocolate, you know, mix from,
that sounds good.
To sell in her store.
Ooh.
And we would go out there, every time we went out there, we would get a handful of that chocolate mix. And on top of that, you know, we came from a culture, the women all tended to get addicted to sugar, but they had to work so hard for the sugar treats, you know, like ice cream. Can you imagine what it took to make ice cream in the old days when you didn't have any electricity? So, and you had to get your cream from cows.
Where the hell did you get the ice from?
Well, you had to, in the middle of the summer, they had to
ice houses.
Cut the blocks of ice from this pond by our house,
big ice
and haul them down and cover them with sawdust. Put them in the ice house, and
just all the ice houses.
But in the winter, of course, the ice, the snow was there. You know, the ice would only last part of the summer, so in the summer you couldn't have ice cream. You could have it maybe up to July, and then the ice would all melt. And so in the winter, it was just wonderful. I mean, you could have ice cream, and you could have, but as I said, the cream part was the problem, especially with our family. We didn't have any boys, and the cows, you know, had to be broken. And you know, cows are just like horses. You have to break them to milk. You can't just take a cow. I mean, a lot of cows, you know, when you go and try to get milk out of their, they're gonna kick you to the moon.
Wait a second now. I have nothing to do with cowboys, okay? She's been trying to make me a cowboy ever since I've known her. I have 2,700 hats, and I watch rodeos on television. I think I saw one. I was in St. Louis, one real live rodeo, and I thought, these guys are nuts, you know. And I was about 10 years old. So anyway, you know, I understand if you're going to break a horse, you got to ride on its back. All right, now, if you gotta break a cow, do you have to hang underneath the bottom and go like?
Yes, you do. And you can just kick. I mean, there's some cows that just that do not take kindly to having milk taken out of their bags by human beings, and you know that they've never seen before.
I mean,
people take this for granted. They think
I never drank.
Store people, you know.
I'm talking about a cow here, folks.
Okay, and so we didn't have very many cows because my dad, not having any boys to help him, didn't have enough energy, and he couldn't hire enough hired men to break enough cows. My grandfather had 12 cows, you know, so they could get plenty of cream. And my mother didn't even have enough cream that she could gather together for butter, let alone cream for ice cream and all that sort of thing. So the cow problem was what kept us,
what's a cow?
Yes,
problem?
A big cow problem. And
oh, I heard one. Wait a minute. Let me just do this. It's 30 seconds. I saw this on the television the other day, up in the boondocks. They had a cow who would not lactate, and she had a couple calves. And you know what they did to it?
What? Oh, thank you for that information.
Well, I didn't do it.
You know,
I just watched these shows, okay? I mean,
so anyway, this is how.
I don't know about you people.
You know, and my father, being an alcoholic, you know, he was an influence on the sons. But the mothers, the women tended to become sugaraholics. You know, they would, or foodaholics, whatever you want to call it, because, and you know, they were thought virtuous because it took so much work to make their ice cream, get their cows. You know, like there was some sisters in town we called them the butter sisters because every single thing that they cooked, they had butter. But naturally, they had some cows, and they had some boys that would help muckle the milk cows and gentle them down so that they would allow somebody to milk them. And we couldn't afford the kind of cows that are bred to be milked, in case you didn't know it, like Jerseys. Jerseys give very, very rich cream. And so they don't raise as much fuss about being milked as the half-wild cows that my dad would try to turn into milk cows.
You got the Utah cows, and now Jersey got the Jersey cows. So that's the difference.
Jersey doesn't have anything to do with New Jersey. Oh,
I don't know.
Teaching him about
I have no idea. This is like all new to me.
My goodness. But anyway, in my Christmas video here, I'm celebrating having this beautiful Christmas cactus, and I am also trying to keep from. I'm trying to have a good Christmas without eating anything sweet. Nothing. No Christmas goodies. Not one. Not one, because I have had to give all those up.
I'm sorry.
Give them completely up. Never again. It's just like a drunk. I have taken the vow. Finally, it's the only way that I can actually quit is to take the vow never to eat any of those things again. Ever.
Okay.
Because if I took one, it's just like one, I would immediately relapse and be back eating, you know, like I tried to eat before. I tried to eat prudently, but in spite of myself, my sugar addiction got away from me. At my height, I weighed 240 pounds. I have now
you're down to 230.
Down to 202, possibly.
You are? Really?
Yeah, and so, but I have a long ways to go because I'm still having like sugar lows where my energy level drops precipitously, you know, and make me feel. But in here, you know, I don't have diabetes, and that's a lot worse.
Well, we're looking forward to it, you know.
That's why when I dropped that many pounds and ate controlled and cut my sugar, I was able to go off all the pills. But if I don't keep going down and keep control of it, then I'll have to be helped with pills. And the biggest help that you can ask for is insulin that you have to have. What?
Do I get 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not 5 minutes, for heaven's sake. We're just about
3?
through. No. Look, this is about, the reason why I'm talking about sugar is it's the Christmas season. It's the season when sugar rules.
Yeah, but
alcohol's taken second place to sugar.
Okay, what about if you lose your wallet?
Yes. Don't tell your sad story.
Well, there I was, coming home from the grocery store, sitting on the bus, you know, and in the little squeezy seats there, and my wallet slipped out of my pocket, and haven't seen it since.
That's sad. Oh,
yeah, it's so sad.
It just makes me
kept
cry.
thinking to myself, like, why did I keep all of those cards in there? You know, I mean, what the hell? It's stupid.
Why?
I don't know. I should have like one.
What? You did a stupid thing? I can't believe you're saying that. You actually can be. I didn't know you could ever be stupid.
Boy, you're giving me a good opportunity to say something I'm really going to be sorry for if I say. Yes, folks, I did. I canceled everything. Everything's canceled. So, I'm not having a blue Christmas. I'm just having a kind of, you know, whatever.
Yes, we're just coming off of wallet loss on his part. Wallet.
But I have a new wallet.
And he's now that is the first wallet I have ever lost. I can't even understand how I could have done it. How did you do it? My gosh. And he's
I told you that chair, that, you know, the bus is real. Oh, never mind.
Do you want to shed a tear or two for?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me just finish this up. Got a phone call the other day, about 4 days after I'd lost my wallet. Some guy, I found the wallet on the bus.
They said that?
You heard it, didn't you?
No, because I can't hear. I didn't have my hearing aid. I have a new hearing aid too, and I keep forgetting to put it in. I didn't have it in when that came on. And not that I'd heard it anyway. This hearing aid doesn't accomplish miracles, but I got that hearing aid for him. Go on with your story, your sad story.
That's pretty much it. The case is, you know, I've got this answering machine. It says, hello, you know, leave a message after the tone. Well, I found this wallet on the bus, and if it's yours, call me at this number. That's the end of the message.
He doesn't know who it is. He didn't leave the number.
Well, fortunately, all that's been canceled. Nobody has tried to use any of the credit cards, but you know, it's a little hassle. But you know, Merry Christmas to myself. Try not to do that if you can, folks. It's not as much fun as you think it is.
So anyway, this video is just not a barrel of laughs. Is it not a barrel of laughs to have sugar lows and
it's more like
have to control,
laughs, you know?
And all the other people are busy.
A glass full of laughs.
And you have to go.
Merry
No,
Christmas
thank
to
you.
everybody.
No, thank
And
you.
tonight,
no, thank you. You are, you know, I'm on a permanent no sugar diet. No, I mean, no desserts, no fun things, no, what I used to think of is just, and And I used to get comfort from this. I would actually think, well, I feel kind of depressed. A candy bar would make me feel a lot better. I actually was able to persuade myself that a candy bar, I had to have it. I really did. I knew that it wasn't healthy. I knew that people needed to be giving me something that wasn't that, because that wasn't good for me. But I was able to persuade myself that since they weren't giving it to me, it was okay to use candy bars. And I wonder, you know, that has a suspicious resemblance to his.
Yes, I know. I remember when I was 5 years old, and I started drinking, and I just drank and drank and drank and drank. Every time I felt a little down, I would say, "Hey, Dad, can I have a couple of shots of beer?" "Sure, son. Why don't you do it? Why don't you take a beer to school? Wait while you're at it."
Oh yeah, right. Isn't it pathetic? Isn't it pathetic what we do, what we persuade ourselves is helping us? And in the meantime, I was getting fatter and fatter, and you know, that was the price I was paying. And I knew as I got fatter and fatter, I was getting in worse and worse shape. I was getting closer and closer to full-blown diabetes. You know, it was just, and
we're going to have to cut this off because otherwise everybody's going to be falling asleep. There's only 2 people that watch this, you know. Hi, 2 people. Good to see you again, you know. Don't lose your ball.
Okay. Well, we're going to call a halt then. We're going to stop berating ourselves for our lifestyle that didn't make any sense.
I just lost my wallet. I'm not talking about that.
Oh no, he hasn't reformed yet, you know, but I've reformed. I mean, I've taken the vow of abstinence. You know, I'm not ever going to eat I solemnly swear I am not ever going to eat a donut again in my life. And I think that should be sufficient. That shows strength, because I've gone a couple of years, close to a couple of years now, without any desserts whatsoever. But you still have to eat, so your body finds ways to get past your resolves, and you know, you still have to. It has tricks, you know, to get you to get it what you used to give it so freely. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for him. He's the one that's going to have to pay for his, and I'm the one that's had to pay for mine, my addiction. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Hey,
peace on earth.
And it's not going to be no peace on earth.
Oh, yeah. Last words.
Is that P-E-S-C?